Good morning, Quadcopter 101, and I have a neat new FPV racer, micro FPV racer for you today. This is the Space Wolf DT140. Now, the DT140 has been out for about a couple months now, but the one that was reviewed earlier by other people was an early release of this. I believe this is their final version, because there are quite a few differences between this and the version that was reviewed earlier. I'll discuss them here shortly. But let's start off with what we got here. Looking at it, it's actually a good-looking little micro. You know, I like the orange and black. Everything orange and black trim. It looks cool. But starting off, what we got as a camera is a little Micro Swift clone, or RunCam Micro Swift clone. It is not a RunCam, folks. I looked for the word RunCam all over it. There is no mention of RunCam, so it is a clone. It looks like the Micro Swift from RunCam, but it is not. It is a 600 TVL, 16 to 9-inch resolution, widescreen resolution FPV camera. And with that, we also got a 5.8 gigahertz FPV transmitter here, 48 channels. What's neat about it is the dang thing has, let's see, 25, 100, 200, 400, and 600 milliwatt power levels. It can be changed. It can be controlled through this little button right here, and you can see what channel you're on by this little LCD screen here, LED screen actually, right there. But you can also configure this in the menus using on-screen display. It's very easy to do. If I got time here before the end of the flight, I'd like to try to show you that. Right now I got it set to 200 milliwatt, but it's so simple to change the channels and adjust the power levels on this using on-screen display, so that I recommend you do that instead of using this button. This button could be a pain in the butt to set things up. On top of that, we got an Omnibus F4 flight control board right there, and it is loaded up with Betaflight 3.3.0. On top of that, we got, or below that actually, we have BL Heli-S 28 amp 401 ESC right there. And we have DT140 3600 kV motors to go with that. The weight of this, with my 650 milliampere hour battery here, is only 219 grams. So, you know, actually 550 milliampere hour battery, I'm sorry, is only 219 grams, well below 250 grams. So this does not require FPV, or not FPV, FAA registration to fly this. Now, there is no beeper. Although they do give you a beeper in the box, the beeper is not installed. They leave it up to you to install it, folks. That's one con about this. I guess the original had a beeper installed. This one does not. Okay, let's go over some of the other cons of this. Other things that, you know, I didn't quite like. These antennas, they do come already zip-tied, you know, and ready to go, but they were flapped down, and they were really flimsy the way they were installed. You know, they were just practically dangling down here into the blades, and I could see the downdraft from the propeller blades pushing them down even further. So to reinforce that, what I did was I put a zip tie around these two, and along with the FPV antenna, to keep them up and away from the propeller blades. Now, there are differences between this and the original release, as I mentioned. Original release came with a capacitor, low ESR capacitor for noise filtering. They don't give it to you anymore. It's not in the box. We still don't have a user manual in the box. Again, the original that was released a couple months ago came with 1506 3400 kV motors. Now it's down to 1408 3600 kV motors, so keep that in mind. They got this orange Micro Swift clone. The original didn't have the orange trim. Now they got an orange trim on the clone camera. I mentioned the beeper's not installed. Now they have the FPV antenna zip-tied. The original was not zip-tied, but now it's zip-tied down so it doesn't flop around. And they include now anti-skid with the, I got it already installed here so you can't see it. Anti-skid is included, along with a strap and also a battery protector plate on the bottom to protect the battery. So that's about it. Let's go for a flight of this thing and see how it performs. Hope you enjoy its flight. Okay, I have that bound to my Jumper T8SG V2 Plus, and we're going to start off in angle mode and selecting arm, and this is first flight. Got a lot of punch. Zippy thing. It's a little bit bigger than the others that I've seen, but it's got the punch. Let's bring it up close, show it up close real quick, and then we'll go right into FPV flying of it. So there it is, and putting it on the pad. And let's go for a flight of this thing. Okay, I'm going to select acro. We'll start off in acro. Let me adjust my goggles, increasing the magnification for my eyes, and arming, and take it to the air. A little too much pitch there forward. And again, I thought I had set up to 200 milliwatt, or 200, yeah, milliwatt. Let me land it a second. I want to show you what this can do. Disarming. It's upright, right? Okay, let me go back. Now, okay, we are disarmed. If you move the throttle up and to the left and move this up, I believe we enter, oh wait, we got to be disarmed too. Okay, up. Okay, there. To the left and up, we enter into the menus. Now, I am going to go down to on-screen display, or actually features, and push to the right, and then go down to video transmitter, and then push to the right, and what I wanted to go down to is power level. Right now I got a 200, and I was seeing a little bit of fuzz there. So I'm going to increase it to 400, okay? And we are at 400, going back one more time, and save and exit. So see how simple that was for me to change it to 400 milliwatt? Okay, going back into the air again, starting off in acro, arming, lowering the throttle. Lower the throttle, now it's armed. And go into the air again. Now with 400 milliwatt power. Hopefully that corrects the, well, it's still got a little bit of signal blur. I don't know about that antenna, or is it my antenna? Maybe it's the channel I'm on. Let's see if I can change the channel. Nah, I'm going to just leave it on that channel. Now, I only got the camera set up partially. You know, I didn't lower the camera's nose too big or down too low. The reason, or I couldn't raise the camera up is what I'm trying to say. Jeez. That camera, you can only raise it a certain amount, okay? I think this is about the max I could get it to go. With that in mind, I don't know about this being a high-speed racer. This is about the fastest I could do it without starting to crane my neck. Or right there. So, you know, if they could raise that camera up a bit, that would be nice. You know, allow you to raise it a bit more higher. It would be nice. Would be very nice, actually, because right now I can't really zip it. I could do, you know, freestyling with it. If you're a freestyler, this would probably be good for you. Let's try it. Lots of hang time. It goes up real fast. Goes up real fast, comes down real slow. So lots of punch. You want to do that again? Whoa. But it's getting fuzzy. So, yeah, again, I'm set at 400 milliwatts there. I don't know what the deal is with the FPV antenna. I better come in a little bit closer. Keep it a little bit closer for the remainder of this. I'm not going any higher than that power level. We'll do some slow flybys. Through the trees. Boy, you see that camera? I don't know if it's a problem with my antenna or what, but you know, I should be getting a lot better reception than what I'm seeing here, but that's what I'm getting. You know, it's really fuzzy, but I have to look at that later. But that's set to 400 milliwatts, folks, and that transmitter should not be doing that at 400 milliwatts. Let me try it. Let me come in for a landing for a second, folks. We're going to try switching to a different frequency. I still got some battery power. Okay, I'm back in the menus again. I'm going to on-screen, or I don't want to go into on-screen display. Back. I want to go into features, video transmitter, and down to channels. Let's try a different channel. Let's go up to channel 3, or channel 4. And we're going to hit it set, and then I'm going to lose signal here for a second. Set, confirm, and then I'm going to have to adjust my channel up. Okay, I set it to channel 4. Hopefully that'll improve reception. We'll find out here shortly. Okay, setting it back to angle or acro and arming and going back to the air. No, it doesn't. I'm still getting fuzzy reception. So I really can't explain it, folks. It's just really poor reception on this thing. And I haven't set the 400 milliwatt. So we're just going to finish out the battery. We're at 3.42. We're going to call it quits here shortly. Actually, call it quits right now. I love those landings, huh? That battery was really dropping off here. So that's why I had to land it right away. So, hold on. Let me turn this off quick. Camera DVR. And make sure I got that recording. But, all in all, it's got a lot of punch. A lot of punch. I guess this would be a good freestyler if you like going up and doing loops and tricks in the air, freestyle tricks. But high speed, translational flight, and racing, I don't know. Particularly, I couldn't get very far range out of this thing. That antenna came loose. That's the problem. I hope I didn't burn out that transmitter. Look at that. That antenna pops off very easily, folks. With that in mind, I recommend installing putting that antenna on there, and then maybe putting some hot melt glue or something to keep that antenna on, because that thing popped off real easy just from flying around. That was on there before takeoff. I remember that was on there. But look at that now. It popped off while flying. So keep that in mind. This thing can come loose, okay? And result in, if you do see low power output and you can't explain it, check this. I should have checked that right away. I should have figured that out right away. So again, I hope I didn't hurt this transmitter. But hope you enjoyed this flight. This is Quadcopter 101, signing out. Morning, Quadcopter 101. It's actually the next day after that first flight here. I've done some mods to this since that first flight. That connector came off on this FPV antenna very easily. It popped right. And when I was playing with it, it would pop on and off relatively easy too. So what I've done, folks, since that last flight is I've reconnected it first off, and then I've used some hot melt glue there to hold it in place. I'm hoping that that board doesn't get hot enough that the hot melt glue will melt, but we'll find out here shortly. And I'm really concerned because I was flying this without a connected antenna. This at 400 milliwatts. I hope I did not damage this FPV transmitter, but we'll find out here shortly. Additional mods that I've done, I moved the camera up a little bit more, hoping to get a little more speed out of it. And also, the original antenna is real flimsy. I beefed one of them up here. One of them was really, really flimsy. I still was worried about it getting stuck down here. So now I'm not so worried about these going into the propellers. They seem to be stiff enough to stay out of the propeller's way in flight. So let's go for a flight of this thing, and hopefully we'll get much better FPV transmission in this flight. So hope you enjoy this flight. Okay, let's do that and see if that helped improve the reception, because that was really poor the other day. Okay, disarming and setting it to acro, arming, and let me adjust my goggles a bit, and away we go. Fly around the pool first, see if we got reception, and we do. That greatly improved it, doesn't it? Oh, wait a minute, we still got a little bit of fuzziness. But, yeah, let's try it around here, going up. Okay, let's try some speed. I moved that camera up, and the reason being I wanted to see if I could improve the get some speed out of this thing, but still, well, not so bad. Okay, I'm afraid, let me get some feeling on this thing. We'll try a roll. There goes the roll. I'm going to roll in the other direction. Okay, there goes the counter roll, going up again. And not bad. And I got some nice transmission power there because I am pretty far out there. Far out, man. Okay, let's try more translational flight. Going by us. Going this way. Let's go around the pool this way. This thing has so much punch. Tons of punch. And I can see this being a bird for freestyling. I'm not a freestyler, folks. I'm just not. I like going fast and slow, or low. For that, fast and low, I don't know. You know, this, I still got it pointed up, but the camera lens on this isn't wide angle. It's kind of, well, not as wide angle as my other cameras. And even though I got it pointed up, as you can see there, I really can't get it going fast. I need to point it up even further, unfortunately. So let's try some more translational, just cruising. So what I'm saying is, as a racer, I don't know, as a freestyler, yeah. I mean, it's great freestyler, actually. Incredible amount of punch on this, you know. So if you like punchy quads, this is a punchy quad. But if you went, you know, low to the ground and fast, I don't know about that. That's the difference of this quad. I like to fly low to the ground and fast, but this one doesn't want to do that. It's low to the ground and medium speed. Pretty cool. Lots of punch. Huge puncher. Huge amount of push on these props with these motors. Not bad at all. Let's try out that 87, 80. Look, I'm looking at the, it's flying around the field. Holy moly, it's got transmission power. 100 meters on, I'm at the other end of the field, folks. Got 99% RSSI. Still got reasonably good FPV. I mean, this thing can go far. If you're looking for a long range flyer, that's the next thing about this drone. It is a long range FPV flyer, or for a micro. This is an incredible amount of range that you could fly this thing for a micro. You know, micros don't normally have this type of range. But again, you got that FPV transmitter that can, what is it, 800 milliwatts or 600 milliwatts max? I forgot. I mentioned it earlier, folks. And on top of that, a really nice receiver. I got to land, folks. Okay, coming in. My famous landings. I do the best landings. Okay. Let's see here. So my thoughts on this disarmed. This bird, I don't know about racing, but yeah, if you're into freestyling, this is for you. Let's see if that held up, because I look at it on that landing. I pushed down on this, but yeah, that held up. So that's great. My little fix there. But this is a great freestyler. Not so great as a racer. Lots and lots of punch on this thing. So you can send this one up, and it will stay up in the sky for quite a bit of time. And the range on it is really good. Very good reception. RSSI throughout the whole thing was in the 80s and 90s. Throughout, you know, I went to the other end of the field, far corners of the field, and had really good reception, and still had really good transmission, or FPV reception too, because of that, the high power of this transmitter. So, and I'm glad I didn't burn it out the other day. So, hope you enjoyed this flight. is Quadcopter 101 with a DT140, hold on, what was its name again? Sky something or other? No, Space Wolf. Hope you enjoyed this flight. Quadcopter 101, signing out.